the invitation for my wedding should have arrived by now, correct? Please make sure to say no to the RSPV, please. We don't need you coming to my wedding after all.
What? Even though you guys went through all the effort of sending me this invitation?
That was only sent to you because I had no choice. At the most recent class reunion, I told everyone that I was getting married, right? And at the time, I said that I'd be inviting everyone from my class. Well, I went ahead and did all of that before I realized that you were in my class as well.
But everyone else says that they're going, so why do I have to be the one to stay away?
Because we don't need some ugly-looking emo like yourself bringing down the vibes of my wedding. If you were to actually come, the whole atmosphere would become cold and people would want to leave. So please, just like with the graduation ceremony years ago, read the air and stay away.
What?
I never thought that you would actually show up to this ceremony after everything, so I was laughing my butt off watching you walk across the stage. I'm sure you felt the same way as everyone else did when you brought down everyone's feelings that day, right? That's why everyone started to whisper for you to go home over and over as you stepped off the stage. But you actually did leave right after you grabbed your diploma, which none of us actually saw coming.
I remember what was going on that day myself. I was wondering then why everyone kept telling me to go home like that, and it made me feel very sad and unwanted. All of my friends were telling me not to worry about what you were saying, but I couldn't hold myself together and started to cry before I went home.
I know that was back in high school, and things have changed by a lot now, but ugly people like you stay ugly. No matter how much makeup you lath on yourself, you will never be able to get rid of that dark and ugly character you have. And to think that right now, after so many years have gone by, you're still working at base level job? The gas station, was it? I suppose that's the perfect job for you ugly emos then, huh?
Huh? I never really told you about what job I have currently, did I?
Well, I've heard from other people what you're doing. And what they've said is that you're too old now to still be working at a gas station. There's no way I'm going to let such a low life as yourself come to my wedding of all things. That is the wedding for a high school beauty contest winner who also happened to be the most popular woman in school after all.
I may not have changed much, but neither of you really, Georgia. You were always belittling people like that, so I guess none of us have really changed much, have we?
Oh, sorry, hold on there. I'm not making fun of you right now because I want to. You've just chosen to continue living life below me as an ugly emo this whole time, Oakley. Now please make sure to say no to that invitation for me. I'll let everyone know on the day of that you ended up having to work a shift on the gas station that day, and that's why you couldn't make it. Miss Oakley, are you really not able to make it to my daughter's wedding that's coming up really soon? You made sure to take the day off that day, right?
Actually, there were some other things that showed up on that date. That's why I'm not going to be able to attend that day.
Oh, is that right? Is there no way you can say that you have an important wedding to go that day and maybe postpone some of the other things? It's going to be my daughter's wedding of all things, and I'd really like a person as important as you to be there.
What?
Georgia has already told me that she wanted and invited everyone from her class back in high school. I think the more people she has from back then coming to see her wedding, the more happy she'll be and the better memories she'll make. So could you please find some way to go to the wedding that day? I'm sure you don't want to keep listening to her mom go on and on about having you come to her wedding. But I'd really love for this wedding to go perfectly for her, and you would be able to make that possible.
You really are such a kind woman, Catherine. But you really don't have to be too worried about this. Even if the both of us were in the same graduating class together, her and I weren't all that close back in the day. I don't think it will bother her at all if I don't make it to the wedding.
Please, don't think something like that, Miss Oakley. There is also my husband and myself, right? Him and I are always talking about how so much you've done for us, so we'd really love for you to be there on our behalf. So, would you please?
I never thought I'd be asked this many times by you to be at your daughter's wedding of all things. You've always been a key member of the team for so long now, so it's a bit difficult for me to say no when you've asked so many times.
It should be. It should be. You have been working so much lately that you should take the day off to come and see my daughter get married. And if it's really going to be difficult for you to change plans around, then at least make around 10 minutes to just pop your head in. I would really like for as many people as possible to come and see my baby girl in her wedding dress.
Well, if that's all right by you, then I suppose I can come and pop my head in real quick. Then I'll be able to say to the groom and introduce myself and be off. If that's all right with you, then that'll be the plan I make.
That would be completely fine with me. Oh, I never thought that at my daughter's own wedding, she'd be able to have you as a guest and finally be able to see the important side of one of her old high school friends. Oh, anyways, I'll be waiting for you on the day of her wedding then. Why the hell have you come here, you ugly emo? I never asked for you to be at my wedding. Get the hell out of here, you low-life loser.
I shouldn't even have to be told to leave, as you can already see me leaving now. Also, what you just did was horrible. You came up behind me and pushed me right into the shallow pool that's at the front of the wedding hall.
Tell me how that was horrible of me. I was just making sure that my wedding is well-defined, is all.
Huh? That was you defending your wedding?
You came all the way out here with the intent of ruining my wedding, so I had to act before any of that could actually happen. The moment I found out where the terrorist was, I thought about what I could do to send them away and act. This is what normally happens to people like you, right?
Who are you calling a terrorist? What do you mean I came here to ruin your wedding as well? Why would I ever come here with the goal of doing that to you?
Stop trying to talk your way out of what you plan to do now, you terrorist! I told you well before today not to come to my wedding, right? And you still came walking right in like that warning was never given to you. I know you're only here for one reason, and that's to get in the way of my perfect day.
What?
I'm sure I hurt your feelings by making fun of the fact that you work at a gas station, right? That's why, with all that pent-up anger you have for me now, you've come here to ruin the most important day of my life. That's something I can definitely see an emo like you doing.
I told you that's not why I'm here, Georgia. I came here just to pop my head in and say hi. I get that you really, really hate me for many, many reasons. So to try and keep us from getting into any fights, I was just coming for a few minutes with the plan of going right back home.
Huh? Are you trying to piss me off now by saying that you, a lowlife, came all the way here with the intent of saying hi before going back home? I never said that I needed an ugly emo like yourself here saying hi to any of my guests. You're literally nothing compared to me, you loser. Yet you came here thinking it'd be alright even if it were for a couple of minutes? I'm not sure how much more of a presumptuous action I can handle. Oh.
Presumptuous? I was not doing anything cheeky by coming here for a few minutes. I understand that for a very long time now you have hated me, all right? But you can't continue to act like a child by attacking me when you are old enough to be put in jail for things like that.
Oh, is the gas station employee who's in her late 20s now going to start preaching to me about what's right and what's wrong? Oh, someone like me who's getting married to a man who works as an elite for a massive company? Someone like me who's going to live the rest of their life as a housewife in the penthouse in one of the tallest buildings in this city has ever seen? Don't make me pee myself by trying to act all smart, you low-life part-timer.
So you really are just going to continue with the belittlement until the day you die, huh? I can really tell now that no matter what I try and say to you, you'll never listen to me.
Oh, so you finally come around to realizing that someone like me can't ever understand the crazed thoughts of a lowlife? Well, now that you've realized your loss, go ahead and leave this place in your completely drenched dress. My wedding is starting really soon here, so I want you gone before that happens.
I'm going home, all right? You don't have to keep telling me to. But before I go outside, can you at least give me a towel or something? I won't even be able to ride in a taxi with how wet I am right now.
Oh, wow. Just what I expected from a lowlife. You're like a homeless beggar asking me for a towel right now so that you can dry yourself off.
Huh?
I know what this is all about now. You came to my wedding today to try and get to all the really delicious food I'll have prepared for everyone today, right? You must only ever get to eat all the day-old stale food that comes out of the gas station, right? So, you thought that today you'd be able to come sneak into my wedding looking to grab yourself a bite or two of this really delicious food.
What?
But I'm really sorry, Oakley. There's no amount of food here that I'd be willing to serve to a low-life beggar such as yourself. So, would you please give up now and leave already?
Would you frickin' stop it with all this belittlement, please? Can't you see how far you've gone now, calling me a homeless beggar and all that, on top of calling me a terrorist?
Huh? What's with that attitude? The one that came to my wedding after being told not to come was you. I won't have an ugly emo coming to my wedding. There's not a chair prepared for you here. Not for the wedding and not for the lunch.
Alright, I'm leaving then.
Hurry the hell up, loser. I told you from the very beginning not to come here. Yet this gas station working lowlife of an ugly emo came all the way out here causing me trouble. A massive loser like yourself needs to keep eating that crappy gas station food for the rest of your life.
Then your mother is going home as well.
What?
I actually quite enjoyed my job at the gas station and find the food here to be really nice. But I'm sorry, however, that your lowlife mother has caused you so much embarrassment.
My mother? Wait, what?
Everyone has different views, I know that. So, I'm not going to say anything to you about your views on who is a lowlife and who's working stupid jobs, even if I am your own mother. But there is one thing a mother like me can say, and that's that you're pushing someone into a shallow pool like that is unacceptable.
Wait a second. You're my mom? What? Is that really you, Mom? Why the hell would my mom be texting me through that loser's phone right now?
I couldn't watch what was going on anymore, so I went and took Miss Oakley's phone from her. I never ever thought that even my daughter could be vicious to someone else, as you've been to someone like her. I'm so embarrassed by you right now that I had to do something about this.
What?
You've really shown me your true side, Georgia. The side of you that would push someone as important as Miss Oakley into the water. When I saw that happen, I had no idea what to do or say because I had frozen up out of shock.
Wait a second, Mom. Why do you keep calling her Miss Oakley? Why are you being so polite to such a low-life scum as her? Who said she could be treated that way?
Well, she happens to be the owner of the company that runs the gas station I work for. I don't care that you have such feelings against her and that you've carried all the way from high school. She's my boss and I will treat her as such. And that's the reason why I call her Miss Oakley instead of viewing her as your old classmate.
Huh? Your boss? Wait, Mom, you're working at a gas station right now? And you're telling me that Oakley's the owner of that gas station?
That's what I'm saying. I told you a while ago that I was going to start working again, right? All of my kids were finally out of the house, and I had nothing to do with all this time besides sit around and watch TV. I talked with your dad a little bit about it, and we agreed that I should get myself a part-time job, which is where I am right now.
I heard about all of that, but I never knew you were working at a gas station. I was thinking you worked for a supermarket or a cafe in the neighborhood. I was thinking that you of this whole time, but you've actually been working at a gas station?
I was thinking about working at a place like the local grocery store as well, but then your dad gave me some advice. He told me that working at places such as that, where everyone else around me is old, would require me to pick up slacks for all of them. He then recommended that I go somewhere lots of young people work, as the workload would be more even there.
So then you decided on working for a gas station?
A lot of the gas stations around our house looks for part-time workers all the time, but when I went to the one closest to the house, I never thought I'd be hearing about how the owner of the company was Miss Oakley. And as of right now, she's running around 12 different gas stations, so I have to really respect her for that, because she doesn't even hand off orders to people below her to run her gas stations. She will go to each and every one of them with all of the time, making sure the management is in shape and that the rest of the employees are doing their jobs well.
What?
From what I've heard, she's making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. But even with all that money she's making sure it doesn't all get to her by coming out to be with the people that makes her business happen. Because of that, I have a lot of fun working at the gas station and always feel as though even my voice is heard.
Huh?
At this particular gas station, there are a lot of high schoolers and college students working part-time. There are also people that want to become actors working part-time here, and those that were down on their luck, but are trying to improve their lives now. I really enjoy talking to and working with all different kinds of people from all different backgrounds, as it makes the day go by and I learn plenty of new things. And considering I'm pretty far up in ages now, a lot of the youngsters there will teach me how to use new features on my smartphone and such.
Oh, you seem so happy about being there.
I get to meet all kinds of people from our part of the city as well that comes in to get snacks and drinks. I get to see little kids that I've never really gotten talking to with anymore, and some old friends that I haven't seen in so long. Being able to have so much social interaction with everyone makes this part of my life so enjoyable. But my own daughter is saying someone like myself is a low life because of where I work. There have always been people around making fun of that work part-times at base-level jobs. But the fact that I've now had to learn my own daughter is just like those narrow-minded people breaks my heart.
Hold on,
I'm going home as well now. I was expecting to cry and sob a lot today at my daughter's wedding as I watched her marry her love, and that's why I brought this little towel and handkerchief. But to think I'd have to be using them to dry my boss off at the front of the building. I'm going to take Miss Oakley home in my car now so that she doesn't have to worry about getting a taxi.
What? You're actually going home? Hold on now. Are you being serious right now?
Of course I'm serious. You were just being serious with my boss a little bit ago, right? That low-life gas station workers like her should get lost.
Wait, Mom, that was, I might have gotten carried away. I didn't actually think that you'd take something like me saying to go home personally as well. Now, come on, Mom. You can stop joking about going home with her, alright? There's no way you'd let your daughter have a wedding without her mother around, right?
I sure haven't ever seen a wedding before where the mother was told to leave before it started. Then perhaps you'd better off just canceling the wedding so that something like that won't have to happen.
Huh.
And then you can have a talk with your fiancé Marcus about why the wedding was canceled.
Wait. There's no way this wedding is being canceled. All of our friends and family are here and ready to go now. And why are you even talking about Marcus right now, Mom?
Well, that's because he's standing right beside Miss Oakley and myself right now.
Marcus is?
When he saw me running over to see Miss Oakley, he wanted to see what was going on and came rushing over as well. He said to her, "Are you all right, Miss Oakley?" and things like that as he came up. He apparently saw what you did to her as well. So right now he has his jacket over Miss Oakley, trying to keep her warm so that she doesn't catch a cold or anything. I am so shocked that a kind and selfless man such as him thought it would be a good idea to marry you. wait a sec. Why is my fiancé calling her Miss Oakley as well? How about you ask your fiancé about that? Now both my boss and I are going to be heading home. You go and choose whether you still want to have your wedding, or if you rather just cancel it and save yourself some of the embarrassment. I'm not going to help out with that choice, though. Hey! There's no way, right? There's no way that my Marcus is working part-time at one of your gas stations. That has to be some kind of messed up joke, right? You haven't hired my fiancé to work for you, right?
Right now, Marcus is working for another one of my gas stations on the other side of the city. Not only has he been working for me for a while now, but he's really enjoyed his job there and gets all the work he's asked to done in a very efficient manner. But I never thought that that man would end up being your fiancé of all people.
No way. So then everything he's been saying to me is true?
So you were just about to marry the guy, yet you had no idea what he was doing for work or anything?
I didn't have to know. I was believing everything he had told me. He told me he came from a really strong university and he was working for a massive company. He even told me about how efficient he was with his work, making him the top employees with his place of work. He told me all of that, hence why I chose to get married to him. Yet, instead, it turns out he's really been working at a gas station this whole time. He never told me that a year ago, the company he was working for had got some layoffs and he was let go.
How about you calm down there, Georgia? Have you really not heard the rest of the story from him? The company may have laid him off, but that was only before it was bought out by an even better company. And that company has been asking him to go and work for them now that they see his potential. He has been in the works of going to their interviews, but in the meantime, he's been relaxing while working for me.
Who cares about all that? That doesn't change the fact that he was let go by the previous company and had to work for you at a gas station. He shouldn't have lied to me about working at a gas station, right?
I'm sure it wasn't right for him to hide that fact from you.
Who would want to marry a man like him? I'm done. I don't want him anymore. I'm canceling this wedding, and from here on out, I am no longer together.
What? So you're actually canceling the wedding?
Well, of course. I would never get married to this man that works part-time at a gas station, and my mom already went home as well. I don't want to have this wedding if I won't be able to brag to all my friends about the man I've married anymore. I'm canceling this marriage and this wedding right now.
I'm not really sure you should have been getting married so that you had something to brag about in the first place, but...
Shut up! Don't start to talk like that to me just because you make some decent money. Don't even try picking on me now just because my mom works for you.
I'm not trying to be rude to you, and I'm definitely not picking on you either. Georgia, the way you are now is really disappointing. No matter what anyone tries to say to you, you just go off the rails and start fighting everything. Oh, well, I guess if you want to keep throwing a fit like that, then please go right ahead and cancel that wedding. And make sure to tell your hard-working fiancé that things are off as well.
What the hell is that attitude?
And after all those invites you sent out to have the whole high school class here, the most popular woman from high school's wedding was today. I'm sure a lot of people were hoping to see something really amazing here, but now it's being canceled. And the mother of said popular woman ran back home. I really want to see how you're going to explain to everyone there why you're having that wedding canceled.
Yeah, are you playing with me right now? I bet you're smiling and laughing right now watching me go through all this crap like I deserve it or something, right? I'll tell you right now that what's happening between you and I is going to stay a secret. You and I will keep this secret that I'm leaving my fiancé because he works at a gas station.
Don't you ever tell a single person why this wedding is really over with.
What should I do here? You and I aren't that close to one another, so will I really keep such a tremendous promise with you?
What? What?
Now you have fun telling all the staff that the wedding is canceled. Good work today. I'm going to stop talking to you now. Georgia tried her best to tell everyone that her wedding was being canceled due to her mother having a bad fall and needing to go to the hospital. She then went and told her fiancé that things were off because he had lied to her about being laid off and having to come work for me at a gas station. He was pretty upset by what happened there, but he knew it was partially his fault for not telling her the truth when things happened. But just a few days later, he received a call from the company he was interviewing with, and they told him he had gotten the job. It turned out that the new company, who had bought the company he was laid off from, heard stories about his skills from all the employees they took on, and so they wanted him back and moved into the position of department manager. He was also given a raise due to all the troubles he had faced from being laid off during what one could call a corporate buyout of the last company. And that, to me, sounds like a great deal. When Georgia learned about how he got that new job within the massive new company, she ran back to him hoping they could get back together. But by that point, he was totally over her and said for her to get the hell away from him. This was also around the time a lot of the guests from Georgia's canceled wedding began to catch on to what the real reason was for the wedding being canceled. Now, Georgia has been trying to get a hold of her mom to say that she was sorry for what she'd done and all the lying. But to this day, her mom has still managed to ignore all those calls and texts. Hey there, Liliana. I'm so sorry to ask, but do you think you could send about $500 to my bank account? I'd really appreciate it. I ended up doing way more shopping than I thought I would last month, so I need just a bit more money than usual.
But I already send you $1,000 a month, Mom. I really don't think I can afford to give you any more. You'll just have to make do with what I gave you this month.
Excuse me, what is the matter with you? Are you really telling your own mother she has to go back to work?
Mom, you're not even that old. You just stopped working well before retirement age. I really think you could still handle even just a part-time job. Please stop always coming to me when you need money.
How dare you talk to your mother that way? You really are so selfish, you know that? I finally free myself of having kids or any other obligations around the house, and you demand that an old lady like me go back to work because you're too lazy to give me some help. You really want me to just work myself to the bone until I drop dead, don't you?
Mom, I'm really happy that you have time to do things that you've been wanting to do. But the fact of the matter is that I have my limits, and I'm already sending you the absolute maximum of money that I can afford. So it's not a matter of wanting to, I simply can't afford to send you $500 more this month.
Oh, come on, you're still young. Surely you have some savings that you could withdraw money from, right? You can always make the money back, but I need that kind of money right now. Come on, don't you realize that you owe me for all I've done for you over the years? I had to raise you all by myself, and I put everything into raising you, and this is how you choose to repay me?
Mom, of course, I'm very grateful for all that you've done for me over the years. I know that Dad died early and you had no one else to help raise me, but you can't talk to me like I'm not already sending you money every month. Not only that, but I've been doing so for the past 7 years. I've been sending you $1,000 every month for the past 7 years. Are you really going to turn around and tell me that I haven't been showing enough gratitude?
Of course not. You really think that's remotely enough money to cover all that I've done for you? If you really cared about me, you would be sending me at least $2,000 a month. But you're always telling me how you can barely even afford to pay me half of that. So why don't you quit whining and just give me the money that I'm asking for? Consider it a bonus for all the time I spent raising you.
Hey Vanessa, are you there? I was just wondering about how the job hunt was going. The thing is, I would really appreciate it if you could help send some money home to Mom.
Hold on a second. You mean I'm going to have to start sending my money to Mom too? I'm sorry, but I just don't think that's going to work for me at all. Besides, I still haven't managed to find a job, so...
You mean you still haven't even gotten a job offer? Have you been applying even? You graduated from college over 3 years ago now. The least you could do is find a part-time job or something. After all, you've been living with Mom this whole time. When are you finally going to find a place to work?
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. I don't really feel like going out and finding a job. I would only even begin to consider taking a position where I'm making at least $3,000 a month. Not only that, but I'm going to need a lot of vacation time on top of that.
Vanessa, I really don't think that you're going to find any job that's going to give you everything you want for an entry-level position. You have to be a little more realistic and be willing to work for those perks. Please, I really can't afford to send Mom any more money. The least you could do is try and contribute a little bit since you're living with her. It would really help me out.
And just why is it my problem if you're not working hard enough to be able to afford to help Mom out? Besides, if you must know, I'm out trying to find a rich man to marry, so don't say I'm not doing my part. Once I find a guy who is loaded, I'll make him fall in love with me, and then I'll take care of Mom by myself.
Are you kidding me? Is that really your plan to help our mom?
Of course, I realized that only suckers go out and find jobs for a living. I'm just going to live off my husband's salary instead. So that's why I'm going out every night trying to put myself out there and find the perfect man.
Actually, I remember you telling me about doing this a while ago, so that means that you haven't made any progress on that front either. Are you seriously just wasting all your time waiting for Mr. Right to come fall into your lap so you won't have to work? Is that really all you want to do with your life?
You know, I actually did find someone special once, but we ended up breaking up. He was way too stingy for my liking. He had the gall to tell me no when I demanded he keep buying me gifts. So obviously, he wasn't nearly as rich as he let himself on to be, and that's why I'm still out looking.
I don't believe what I'm hearing. How can you seriously say that that's your life plan?
I'll have you know that I've been gifted bags and clothes worth thousands of dollars by potential suitors. In fact, the last present my boyfriend gave me was a $1,000 necklace. And that was actually the cheapest of the things that he had bought me. It's not easy trying to work out here.
Well, if all you're really doing is seeing this man to get them to buy you things, then it doesn't even sound like you're going to get married. And that means that I'm still going to be the only one sending money to Mom for a long time.
Don't be ready to give up so quickly. You should know that I've actually found a guy who I feel really good about and who's super rich. So I think you might not actually have to even wait that much longer before I'm married.
Oh yeah? You mean you found someone who you think will actually get married to?
That's right. But if this is going to work, you need to send Mom and I a bit more money this month. After all, putting in the work to keep a rich guy's attention isn't cheap, you know. I know that Mom is already asking for another $500. But I think if you add an extra $1,000 on top of that for me, then we should be fine.
Oh, come on. You can't be serious about that, right? You know that I can't even begin to afford sending you that much. I'm already at my limit sending Mom $1,000 every month. That's why I came to you to ask for help in the first place. But you two just keep treating me as if I'm some kind of infinite ATM.
Oh, trust me, neither of us think of you that way. You're way too cheap for that. And if you're going to take that tone with me, then things aren't going to go well for you. Maybe I'd just choose to continue not helping even after I'm actually married. What do you think of that? Liliana, are you there? Your sister is engaged. She's going to be getting married. Not only that, but her fiancé is really rich and runs his own company. Isn't that amazing? She is struck gold.
You mean that Vanessa has actually found a rich man willing to marry her? Are you serious?
Why are you sounding so surprised? It's obvious that a cute girl like her would be able to find a man like that with no problem. After all, she went to college, comes from a good family, and she's a looker. She's an all-around catch. Now I can finally be free and stop having to rely on your stinginess just to get by.
You mean that Vanessa agreed that she would start giving you money every month too?
Well, Vanessa isn't going to be doing so, but her husband certainly is. And he's going to be giving me $3,000 a month, too. Oh, I'm so happy that my daughter finally found a rich man to marry. All my dreams are coming true.
Wow, he's seriously going to give you that much money every single month?
That's right, and it's all thanks to the hard work your sister put in looking for a man. And she may have told a couple white lies about me to ease the process.
White lies? What do you mean? What kind of lies did she tell you about?
Oh, she just told her husband that your father was a horrible gambling addict who left us with tons of debt that I couldn't pay. And about how I had to raise you two all on my own, and how you moved out of the house and hardly ever help us at all despite us begging you to. Apparently your sister was convincing enough to want to make her husband step up and take care of his new mother-in-law. And that's when he offered to send me as much money as I would need to live comfortably.
Now hold on just a second there. You told this guy that your late husband, my dad, was nothing but a gambling addict?
I mean, all I did was stretch the truth a little bit. After all, your dad did used to buy lottery tickets now and then.
So then you besmirched the memory of your own late husband just to make some money? Not only that, but you even lied to your new son-in-law just to exploit him.
I know, isn't it perfect? And now I'm going to get all the money I could ever want in the world.
Mom, I can't believe you would do something like this.
Oh, please, you certainly aren't in a position to start making complaints to me. You had your chance to take care of me, and you failed. Maybe if you had done your job better, then I wouldn't have been forced into a position where I had to lie.
So you're really going to try and pin all of this on me? I don't know what to say. I've worked so hard to support for the past 7 years, and you act like it's nothing.
Oh, please, you were only sending me $1,000 a month. Don't act like you were so special. But now I don't need your money anymore. I found a new source of income, and I'm never going to let him go. So anyways, now that I have no need for you, don't bother talking to me anymore.
Wait, what? You mean you don't even want to talk to me?
Of course not. Oh, and by the way, you should know that your sister's wedding is today. Not that there's a seat for you here anyway. You can just sit at home doing nothing but thinking about how you failed me.
Wait, what? Vanessa's going to be getting married today? But, I mean, why is this the first time that I'm hearing about this? Why wouldn't she tell me? Does she really not care whether I'm there or not?
Of course not. Her husband thinks that you're a selfish woman who abandoned your family. If he found out the truth, then it would ruin our plan for him to pay me what I need. So you just be a good girl and keep out of this.
So you not only ruined the reputation of my dad, but you also lied about me just for money.
That's right, and we're not going to tell him any more information about you. He knows what he needs to, and that's enough. If he found out any more about you, then it might ruin my image as a poor old woman abandoned by everyone but her one loyal daughter. That's the narrative that we've come up with, and we're not going to let you come here and ruin it.
But it's a lie! You're just lying to this man to steal from him.
Oh, please, it's just another stretching of the truth is all. Besides, it's quite fun acting like someone who you're really not.
So after all this time and effort I put into taking care of you and Vanessa for the past 7 years, this is how you thank me? I can't believe that I really matter so little to you that I'm just being sold out like this. And now I'm not even invited to my own sister's wedding because I'm supposed to be this big villain?
Well, it's not like you even have clothes ready to go to a wedding, right? Besides, I know that you hardly have any money, so it's not like you could go out and get some.
And whose fault do you think it is that I haven't been able to save up any money for myself? It's your fault. It's because I've been paying for you for the past 7 years of my life.
And you've done such a brilliant job doing what you could for me. But the fact of the matter is that it was never enough, and now I don't need you anymore.
Well, fine then. I won't go to Vanessa's wedding. I can see I'm not wanted there anyway.
Yes, that's what I've been telling you from the very start. Nobody wants or needs you around anymore. In fact, you're better off never talking to your sister or I again. You'd just be dead weight and a liability at this point.
Fine. If that's the way you want things to happen, then I'll do as you say. You won't ever see me again. In fact, don't even think of me as your daughter anymore. Got it?
Oh, I'll gladly do that. It works so much better for my new tragic backstory. Anyways, I'm off to enjoy what is sure to be a spectacular wedding. Have a nice life.
Oh, trust me, you're not the only one looking forward to this. But I'm not so sure that the wedding is going to go as planned. You'll find out what I mean soon enough, though.
What in the world are you talking about?
Oh, it's nothing you need to know about for now. But you should know that I'm going to send Vanessa a little wedding present. And hope for the happiness of the newlyweds.
Liliana, what did you do? Where is your sister? Why isn't she here yet? I've tried calling and texting her and she isn't picking up. Do you have any idea at all where she could be?
Oh no, the bride has gone missing on her big day. I wonder what could have happened.
I'm serious. She is supposed to be getting married today. The fiancé is panicking and the whole wedding is falling apart. What did you do? I know that you had something to do with this. Oh, I'll have to go to the police and report your sister missing now.
Calm down, Mom. I really don't think there's any need to go that far. We just have something to talk about, and then I'll let Vanessa go. She'll make it to her wedding, though, don't worry.
Talk about something? What do you mean? I knew that you had something to do with this. You tell me where your sister is and what you've done to her right now.
Oh, I don't know where she is right now, but I know who she's with. I believe it's an old boyfriend of hers, actually.
You mean to tell me that your sister is with an ex-boyfriend on the day of her wedding?
That's right, and by the time we're done talking, she should be on her way. But Vanessa's actually there with this man to apologize to him.
Okay, now I really have no idea what you're talking about. You mean to tell me that she is missing her own wedding to apologize to some old ex-boyfriend of hers?
That's right, she's apologizing for betraying him over and over again. Honestly, even I feel bad for him. Sounds like Vanessa managed to squeeze tens of thousands of dollars out of him while cheating on him. It really is quite a sad situation if you ask me.
Hold on a second. You mean that your sister was having an affair with one of her exes?
That's right, I actually got a message from someone saying that he was an ex of hers, and he told me the whole thing. He told me they actually had already been engaged to be married, apparently. But that when the conversation turned to actually planning the event, she would always change the subject. In the end, Vanessa dumped the guy because he wouldn't stop talking about getting married. After that, Vanessa stopped talking to him completely, and it became clear to him that she was only after his money.
But I had no idea about any of this at all.
Anyways, he reached out to me to try and talk to her. All I did was give him Vanessa's new number. I think that he knew that she was going to be married, although he told me that he didn't blame her if she really wanted to get married to another man. He just wanted closure with her, and that's why you have nothing to worry about in terms of Vanessa making it to her wedding on time.
And you're telling me that that's why the bride isn't at her own wedding right now?
I think he just wants to be paid back what he's owed from his fake relationship.
And you really have no idea where your sister is at all right now? You need to tell me if you do so I can go and get her.
I really don't have a clue where she could be, Mom, but I'm sure she'll be back soon enough.
Sis, are you there? You have to help me, please. I need you to give me some money. I'm with an ex here, and he says that he's not going to let me go out until I've paid him back. But if I can't go out now, then I'm going to miss my wedding.
And just what do you think I can do about any of this, huh? Maybe you should ask your fiancé for money. After all, he was nice enough to offer Mom $3,000 a month, right?
Are you crazy? I can't go and talk to my fiancé about this. My ex is asking for $100,000.
You mean you scammed a man out of that much money?
I didn't scam anything. They were gifts for me. But now he's saying I have to pay them back since it was only under the assumption we were going to be getting married. He's accusing me of fraud. Can you believe it? Not only that, but he knows that I was seeing someone behind his back. If my fiancé finds out that he was the other man for a while, then it might blow up my marriage. So please, I really need your help right now.
No, it sounds to me like you need to get out of this mess yourself. Leave me out of it.
You can't do this to me. I really need your help, please. Once I'm married, I can pay you back for everything. I just really need some money right now.
I'm sorry, but you've been getting money from me for the past 7 years. You and Mom have sucked me dry, and I don't feel like helping out either of you right now.
You've got to be kidding me.
I'm really not. If you took all this money from this man under a false premise, then you should pay it back. No matter what happens, it really isn't my business. If your wedding falls apart, then that's on you. Anyways, good luck and have a nice life. In the end, Vanessa and my mom tried going to relatives and trying to borrow money, but nobody wanted to help them. Instead, they all wanted to know why I had been unceremoniously kicked out of the family by them. The rest of the family were very upset and said that they were going to stop talking to my mom and Vanessa instead. With no other way to get Vanessa out of her pickle, her marriage fell apart and her fiancé canceled their engagement when she didn't show up to the wedding. I hear that Vanessa and my mom have since had to find jobs. Of course, with no real experience, they can only find very low-paying part-time work. They even had to sell their house and moved into a tiny apartment together, where they barely scrape enough money together to make ends meet. All of that being made more difficult by the debt Vanessa owes to her ex-boyfriend who forced her to sign a contract guaranteeing repayment of her debt.
Just a second ago, I sent you a link to this group chat. All of us are in for our class reunion. Did you click on it and take a look at everything we've been talking about? How's it going, Kay? I haven't heard from you in a while. I just got that link from you a little bit ago and gave it a read. And from the looks of it, it looks like you're getting married now too. Congratulations. That's right. Do you want to hear more about it? About who the lucky man is? I'm sure you and I will meet at the upcoming class reunion, so how about you tell everyone there about your marriage? Actually, the man I'm with is a year younger than me. All right, well, you can tell us all about that at the upcoming class reunion. And he's making over $100,000 a year right now. I'm not sure all the details about his work, but it seems pretty tough. I think he's in consulting? At least that's what it all sounds like to me. Also, his father just so happens to work for the state in the capital, and his mother is a very famous pianist. He and his family are all living the life we can only dream of right now, right? That is very amazing. His older brother seems to be taking after their father and will someday be working for the state as well at the capital. They really are all like celebrities in a sense, right? And I'll be able to finally join a family like that now too. Congrats. There's nothing else? Nothing else about what? Like a more, wow, that's insane. I knew you could become famous, Kay. Or maybe something like, this is what I expected from the winner of the high school beauty contest. I'm so jealous, even. There's nothing else from you? I did say that it was amazing, didn't I? All right, I get it. You've always been that really cool girl that doesn't need to be so overreactive. It was to the point even where in class, nobody could really even tell if you were there or not. Nothing special about you, you basic woman. So you're telling me that you only started to text me today in order to brag about your wedding to a basic woman with nothing special about her? Well, that's one part of the reason. But there is also something even more important that I need to text you about. Something even more important than bragging? In that class reunion group chat, you can see that I went and invited everyone to my wedding, right? But the thing is, you're the only person who's not invited to my wedding, as I can't invite you. So I just wanted to make that clear to you right now, just in case you were all in high spirits about coming to see my husband and I. I did see you telling everyone that you wanted them all at your wedding. I really do want everyone at my wedding. Everyone except you. Can I ask what the reason for that is? You already know what the reason is. If on my guest list with all the people that I invited, there was you written down on it, someone who's all dark and emotionless, then everyone would look at me differently. And before long, my value to my husband's family would drop, and the same thing with everyone else in higher position than me. Huh? What I'm saying is my stock would plummet. Your stock would plummet? If all my friends aren't pretty women and handsome men, then I'm in trouble. To me, friends are like jewelry. If even one of them is not from a high-end brand, then I will look silly and like a lowlife. And, well, you are one of those low-end brand earrings or whatever that would make me look bad in front of everyone else. Therefore, I don't want you coming to my wedding, as you would really ruin my special day. And that's why I'm telling you right now that you are not invited. Thank you so much for saying that. I would feel so bad for you in opening up your schedule in order to come to my wedding when you're just not on the guest list. And I'm sure you're still single and without a boyfriend yet, right? So actually, you probably don't have much on your schedule to begin with. I'm still not as free as you might want to believe. What was that? Did you actually find yourself a boyfriend? You, of all people. Did you go to the zoo and find yourself a gorilla or something? I'm not talking about a partner, rather my current job. You are such a loser and a letdown. That's exactly the type of answer someone like you would use. You are so much like every other poor person out there. Can't believe you just made it sound like you don't have any time when you don't even have any money. As for myself, I'll be getting married to my dream man and will never have to work a day in my life again. I'll become a housewife for the rest of my life and be able to use all of his money any which way I'd like. Seriously, it'll be like I'm living up in heaven while you suffer down there on the earth. That's right. And different things make different people happy, so I don't care about you living that celebrity life. Now, I'll see you again at the class reunion.
Hello, Annie. Do you have a moment to speak with me?
What's going on, Danny? Is there a problem?
No, this has nothing to do with work, actually. Rather, a private matter.
Private matter? Oh, is this about your upcoming wedding?
I noticed that you responded back to my invite by saying you wouldn't be coming. And well, I just wanted to know why that was. I've been working under you for so many years now, and I'd really like it if my higher-up came and saw me get married.
I'm sorry, just a couple of things came up that have kept me from saying that I can go.
A couple of things? Does this have to do with that massive contract you're working on for the company? That can't be it, because I would have heard about it all as well.
I'm really sorry, Danny. Really, it's something private to myself.
Oh, did something end up happening to you regarding me?
Not at all. You've been a great friend to me ever since college, and when I said that I wanted to start my own company, you stuck right next to me and supported me through it all. I think of you as a really strong friend of mine. You're like a childhood friend to me almost, and that means I really do want to be there at your wedding.
Oh, then please, come to my wedding. Look, you know all about the wedding I'm planning to hold for everyone, and I plan to hold it for you too.
I had a look at the invitation and the place you had written down on there. It's the wedding venue that one of our best friends and club members from back in school runs now. I can't believe that you'll have the chance to have your wedding there, and a story about your connections to the wedding venue would be really powerful.
And if your schedule really is free on that day, then I'd love for you to at least show your face there. Also, back when my last girlfriend left me, you told me to get back up, try again, because you wanted to be at my wedding someday, right? You said that to me.
Now that you mention it, I did say that. Well, if that's the case, then I guess I have to think about this a little bit more.
Oh, please, think about all the reasons you have to come to my wedding. I'll be going on, Annie. Sorry for bothering you during your break. I'll see you again soon.
Of course. See you again soon. Annie, are you so unattractive that at the class reunion you weren't even going to try finding a man? Or could it be that you really do want one, but know you can't have one? The class reunion is over now. What do you want from me still? I'm at the after party now, so can I just ignore you? Huh? After party? You hold it right there. I never heard anything about there being an after party. Just a few of us decided to do something after the reunion, and that's why we went out to a bar to have some fun. There were too many people at the reunion itself that we had to catch up with, and so we didn't have the time to talk to one another much. That's why we're here now, just having a few drinks and chatting a bit more thoroughly. There are a few people here as well that I haven't seen in ages. Who's all there? Most of them are people you never seemed to get along with back in school, so you wouldn't have any fun here with us anyway. Don't tell me that Cedric is there right now. Cedric? From what I heard, he went and joined a different group to go out and have some drinks with. Shut up! Where did he go to have some drinks? I don't know all of that. I'm just out with a couple of old girlfriends relaxing and having some fun. Maybe they went out to one of the pubs or bars close to the venue we were at. What the? I should have known you were just at some plain and simple drinking party. All right then. Oh, I know who you're with. All those annoying and nerdy girls that you hung out with a lot back in the day. I'm not sure who all you're talking about there, but these are all my friends from back in high school. Now, I'm trying to enjoy my time with them here, so see you later, all right? Well, I have something I'd like to tell you. What? I'm really not in the mood to chat with you anymore, all right? Are you going to try to pick on me again? Because that's how things always were back in high school with you. You always call me a loser and a plain girl, yet you keep coming back to me. Do you actually like me or something? Do you want me to be your friend now? Do you want me to be your girlfriend or something now? Oh, shut the hell up already. Who would ever want to be anything to someone as simple and boring as you? I wanted to give you a warning is all. I saw you today talking with Cedric there at the reunion, and we both know that you are not even close to the same level as him. The same level as him? Why can't I talk with someone from back in high school that I haven't seen in a while? Cedric won the men's beauty contest back in high school, the same year I won the women's contest. And after that, at prom, he and I went out with each other and became the prom king and queen. Do you remember that? He is someone that I can get with and be around, but not you. Ah, don't tell me that at the reunion you started to get all jealous seeing him talking to me and not you. Huh? I would never, ever in my life be jealous of someone like you. And why would I ever be jealous of a woman trying to find a man when I already have my dream man now? You're the one who should be jealous of me right now. The only place a plain woman like you could ever talk to a man is at the high school class reunion, which is just sad and depressing. Thank God I didn't invite you to my wedding. I would be in huge trouble if you came out to my gorgeous wedding and started to try and find a man there. I wasn't trying to get into a relationship with him or anything. Actually, I'm not really in the mood for a relationship with any men right now anyway. Now, just because you are so starved of being with anyone you want to love you, don't think that I'm in the same boat. What the heck? I happen to want to focus on my job right now, which means I don't care if I have a boyfriend or not right now, or get married or not right now. I don't need to be in a relationship to be happy like other people might need. So I'd like you to stop thinking that I'm so starved from not having any relationships going on right now, as I'm not. I'm doing just fine living the life I have alone and don't need you telling me otherwise. Okay, keep trying to act all tough about it. You're just making up all those excuses because you're not sexy, right? And I can tell that just by the fact that you're not even with any men right now at that after party. It's funny that you'd say something like that to me, when you weren't even invited by anyone to go out after the reunion. There must be some intense meaning behind that. Oh, shut the hell up already. I'm the one getting married now, so everyone is being nice by letting me go home to my man. And by the way, unlike you, I don't have all that free time to sit and chat. I have to get back to work preparing my wedding and everything, so goodbye forever. You were the one who started texting me. There has to be a reason for why you are so shameless. You came all the way out here to my wedding today, even though you were not invited. Are you here to start flirting with all my guests now in the hope of finding someone? Or could it be you trying to get with Cedric again, even though you're not supposed to be here? Have you not taken a look at your wedding guest list? I know that you weren't invited to this wedding, and that's why there's no need for me to look. And so you think that just because you didn't invite me here today, you can just pour water all over me? A lowlife like you, who thinks they can just walk into my wedding uninvited, deserves to be soaked in cold water. My wedding is not the place for the lower caste to come and be a part of. I'm going to go home now because of what you did, so you better not regret whatever comes later, all right? I would never regret pouring water all over you. Are you confused about who the main attraction is for today? I'm the person everyone wants to care about and see today, and you were not invited here by me. I will not have you becoming confused about that again. Now get the hell out of here. You're just dirtying my special day and wedding by being here. Well, if you do begin to regret things and try to get me to help you later, I will not, all right? And I told you I won't regret a thing. All right then, I'll be going now. Tell your husband I said hello. Annie, were you also trying to go after my man as well today? You must have been turned away by so many men now that you became desperate enough to go after my husband. You are totally screwed in the head. If that's what you came up with by me just wanting you to tell your husband hello, then it's probably you who has their head on backwards. I told you before, I don't care about being in a relationship right now. Just because you have to keep worrying about finding the right man and won't be happy otherwise doesn't mean I'm the same way. I don't need any other man now. You are really making me sick. Just get the hell out of here. And that's just what I'll do. Goodbye forever.
Annie, what do you mean you were forced to leave? Kay's telling me that there was an accident at the table where one of the water glasses tipped over and spilled on you and your dress. That she tried to apologise for it, but you wouldn't forgive her and ran off out the front doors.
Ah, so that's what she's trying to tell everyone now. You didn't hear anything besides that story from her?
That was all she really told me. I'm so sorry you got covered in water while you were here.
Danny, have you not told her anything about the kind of relationship you and I have to one another?
What? I was thinking about telling her about us while you were here today at the wedding. I thought that would be a better decision instead of telling her without you around.
I see. Well, listen, Danny, that woman came up to me with a full pitcher of water and ice and poured it all over me. There were also fruits and herbs in that pitcher with the water.
What? What are you talking about? I was told by her that she was handing you a glass of water and...
I didn't want to say anything to you about it at the time since you were having so much fun getting ready for your wedding. And I never said anything about Kay before because she was the woman you fell in love with and wanted to marry. But Danny, Kay actually happens to be from the same high school and year as me.
Is that right?
And as for your guys' wedding, she invited everyone from our class to it besides me. If you want to know the reason why she didn't, that's because there's something about me she just doesn't like. And she's made that very apparent to me ever since we first met.
She didn't even invite you?
Actually, she told me not to come at all. And that's why I told you I couldn't make it the first time.
That's the reason why.
I could just explain all of this to you, but I'll just show you what I'm talking about instead. And this was the conversation we had 30 minutes ago.
No way. This can't be.
Since she's gone this far to make me feel unwanted by everyone, I no longer think that I can agree with you getting married to a monster like her anymore. I can tell you everything that's happened between her and I, but nothing else. You will have to decide for yourself how you plan to handle your relationship from here on out.
Hold on a second. Let me clear out this room and I'll call you about this.
Hey, what the hell is going on here? Why do I have to lose my man now right as we are about to have our wedding? And right before we were going to get on stage and say our vows? Why are you talking to me about this? Because I know that after you got drenched in water, you became pissed off and did something to screw up my whole wedding. It turns out that Danny trusts me a whole lot more than a fake woman like yourself. And that's why your marriage is no more. What? Danny, have you been talking to Danny? Yes, because he happens to be my employee. Your employee? Right after I graduated from college, I went to start a company of my own. And from the day I first started that company, he's been right alongside me helping make things along. He even helped me make the company go international, so I have a lot of respect for my friend Danny. What did you say? So then, that consulting company or whatever, where Danny's working, that's your company? That's exactly right. Before, we had just been close friends that went to the same college, but now we both work together, me as his CEO and him as my employee. There is no frickin' way. So when he had to choose who to believe, either me, who he's been working alongside for years and years, or you, who he's only known for around a year or two and who's been lying to him, the choice was easy. And so he went with believing me. What did you say to him? I showed him all the conversations you and I have been having over text. Excuse me? The conversation where you told me why I couldn't come to your wedding, and the conversation where you said I was just trying to search for a man to be my boyfriend. All of those conversations we had, along with all the horrible things you said about me. That was all screenshotted and shown to Danny by me. That totally goes against my privacy, though. Well, I'm sure it does in some way. But that was an easier way of explaining things to him than trying to talk it all out. Sorry about that. If that all really does lead to me not having him as my husband, then I'm going to take you to court and sue you. I'll make sure you pay for this whole wedding that's become a total waste as well, and the settlement will be for at least $100,000. That's as long as you have the ability to do all of that to me. I have the ability, you jerk! That's scary, but I'm not so sure it's going to be me paying any money, since it will most likely be you. What was that? It wasn't those screenshots or anything that I sent to Danny that made him want to call things off with you. It was all those people you talked with after the reunion and exchanged phone numbers with, and then later went out with behind his back. What? Huh? You exchanged contacts with some guys at the reunion and then later went out with them all to have some fun, right? You were going on and on about how I was the one in need of a man and trying to find one at that reunion, when it was really you having to do all of that. Why do you know all about that? Unlike all those men you were talking with and getting ready to take to bed, I was talking with a well-put-together man like Cedric, and he told me some things. He was telling me about how you continued to send him all these messages about how you wanted to take him out and go on a date, and that all those messages were really starting to drive him up the wall. He even told you no 2 times because he knew better than to go out with someone who had plans to get married. Yet you kept on trying, and that really changed his perspective of you in a bad way. Why was Cedric talking with you of all people about that, though? What? You don't know why? Well, it's because he and I are longtime friends with one another. I know that! And it pissed me off watching him always talking to you all the time just because you are a friend of his from back in elementary school. So is that the reason why you've always been coming back to talk with me even though you say you don't want me around you? I just thought you were gay or something and had feelings for me that you couldn't find ways of expressing properly. Now I finally have the answer. Anyway, Cedric and I are not only friends, but family friends since both of our parents go out quite often. And let me just say, he is not fair game for you to go after right now because he is engaged. And he actually happens to love that girl, so there's no room for you to be butting into his life. Unlike you, the woman he's engaged to is both beautiful on the outside and on the inside. What the hell? I never knew that! Another thing, Kay, you don't have room to be complaining about Danny leaving you when you already went and cheated on him before your wedding. So, you really know all about that? And I made sure to tell Danny about every little thing that I know about you. He's a great friend of mine and a great employee of mine. There was no way I could hold back the truth from him any longer, and so I let it spill all out. I want him to be happy, and the only way that can happen is by telling him everything I know. No way. That's led to the life of becoming a celebrity that I've worked so hard for. The only thing I can say about all of this is that you deserve it. Annie, please. He's your employee and your friend, so go and tell him all the good things about me. Work with me to make sure he doesn't leave me. The fact that you can even ask things like that from me after all you've said and done is ridiculous. I'll apologize to you for pouring all that water on you, all right? But that was just water, so there's no real reason to be that worked up over it, right? The fact that you still keep going on like that after all you've done to me is almost disgusting now. If I can't get married to Danny, then how am I supposed to carry on with life? This is life-threatening, please. I'm your friend, so help me out here. I'm sorry, but you are not my friend. And I would much rather that my friend and employee Danny be happy instead of you. He's done so much for me in the past, like building all my contracts with other customers, so I could never ask him to marry a monster like you. He'd never be able to become happy, and that would break my heart. Are you saying you're fine with me not becoming happy then? After pouring all that water on me? Yes. I told you I'd apologize for that. You keep going on about apologizing to me, yet I haven't heard you say sorry to me yet. I'm sure you're just BSing me right now, right? I'm sorry! Please, Annie. Please help me in making sure that I can marry Danny and never have to end up alone again. And I'm sorry myself because there is no way in hell I will help you. Now, please, with whatever strength and dignity you have left, go to wherever the hell idiots like you live and leave the rest of us alone forever. Goodbye forever. For real this time. Right after I sent that last goodbye to Kay, I made sure to block her number right away in order to avoid any more bullcrap from her. Then I went and deleted her contact information and blocked all of her accounts on social media, before telling everyone I knew about what had happened and to make sure to keep her out of their lives as well. Because of that, pretty much everyone started to learn about the kind of idiot she was, and I did not regret one thing. Kay really did end up losing Danny and the marriage, and because of all the men she had played with while together with Danny, she had to pay him a massive settlement. But since she was always so prideful about living off other people's money, she didn't have a cent of her own to give. And so she ended up having to go back out and find a few different jobs in order to make some kind of payment each month on that settlement to Danny. I hear that she's going to be working for a few years paying off everything, and I hope that while she's struggling through everything, she's thinking about those regrets that she said she'd never have.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.